Good evening, y'all. This is Amber with Amber Poetry and Song, coming to you to share something with you. Um, but first, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to the Most High God. Um, so lately, maybe about 2 months ago, I think, or when I first put out my poem Dark Horse, um, I used this eagle in that poem in the video. And it's like after that, I was seeing eagles constantly, like everywhere I, could possibly see them. I can't remember the first place I saw it, but I just noticed how eagles kept sticking out to me. Um, and so, yeah, I knew that God was trying to get a message across to me. Um, and so, my daughter, she likes to draw. She out the blue, she didn't know anything about this. She's 7. She told me she drew a picture for me. It was on a Saturday. I said, okay, let me see the picture. She brings the picture to me. This is what she drew on here. She drew a pencil, and on the pencil it says Eagle Eye. And then after that, I was watching the Diana Ross Live in Central Park concert from way back one night because I like music and I love Diana Ross. And so like at the end of her concert, on the last song, I think it was Ain't No Mountain High Enough, she had a prop in the back of the stage that came up, as she was ending her show. Well, tell me why the prop was an eagle and it had like the eye on it, and I was just like, okay, I just like, okay, God, I hear you, because you trying to relate something to me. And so I started, after I saw that, I prayed and I began to search the word. Um, and the verse I came across, of course, um, that I feel like had to do with it was Isaiah 40 and 31, which says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Okay. And so, like the other day, this week, I was reading in my Bible because right now, this month, with my Bible book club, we're reading the book of Revelations. And so I was on chapter 12 of Revelations. And it reminded me of this because I've been sitting on this. This been happening, me seeing these eagles constantly like that, but I hadn't said anything about it. Um, and so as I was reading in chapter 12, I recalled seeing the eagles and wondering, what God was trying to get across to me. So I'm going to start at verse 1 and read all the way to verse 14. It says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up into God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time for the face of the serpent. Okay, so as I was reading that, I was led to Exodus chapter 19, verses 1 through 4. And I'm just going to read it. It says, in the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Okay. So after I read that, I kind of got I guess a revelation, or I kind of got what God was saying, along with the Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 verse, about waiting on the Lord, and being renewed in strength, and how he'll mount you up like an eagle. Um, what I got from it is, in Revelations, the woman goes into the wilderness on, let me go back to it. It says, oh boy.